Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And today our fine spirit is called Elephant Gin. Yeah, I think it's differently spelled in English, and it is German spelling for elephant. And this gin is inspired by elephants, Africa, and that kind of stuff. But it doesn't come from Africa. It comes from northern Germany. And the package is really, really cool. Where you can see elephant at the front, and there's a lot of drawings of African wildlife on the side, and it opens strangely sideways. And when you look at the bottle, then you have the foreground here with the elephant, and in the background, normal back label. But if you look closely, then you can see a map on the back of the bottle, and that's the back of the back label. It's a London Dry Gin, and they say handcrafted London Dry Gin. So London Dry Gin is the strictest under the gin laws what you have to do. With London Dry Gin, you're definitely not allowed to add anything after you distill, and you have to distill all your botanicals at once. And here you see it on the map. You see a southern South Africa with Cape Town, and there's a line going from the sea into the jungle with explorers going there. They do batches, and they actually do name their batches. This batch is called Marenzi, bottle number 45. There goes made in Germany. And so they are really dedicated to the elephants, and 15% of their income per these bottles goes to elephant projects in Africa. And in terms of botanicals, there are 14 botanicals in there. It comes from Germany, so there are northern German apples in there, from the region probably where this bottle comes from. And then you have African spice. They even say not secret, but scarce African spice. I don't know what scarce spices there are. And herbs and other spices. So let's have a try. Oh, this is a classical one with a lot of juniper. So one of the botanicals is definitely juniper. But it does have a bit of a fresh, fruity note to it. Spices, mild spices background. More of the herb, fruity smell. Not very sweet, maybe a little bit sweet, but a nice, gentle, fruity, herby, classical juniper gin. Oh. In the taste, there is juniper, but it's not the most dominant note. The spices really come through. They really have a great kick in this whiskey, and it does have some edges. There are some sharp notes in it, but they are nicely combined with the spices. So the spices they really remind me a bit of the tannin notes from European oak. I just had a whiskey with European oak yesterday, and it really has a bit of that touch to it, and it has a bit of a forest touch to it. Strange. On the second sip, it really feels much more than the forest, and a bit of a pine note, pine cone note. It doesn't feel sticky resin, but that smell of resin from the pine cones, that or from the trees, that flavor, that really feels like, has that feeling in that gin. So a spicy, almost classical gin. It's classic in the nose with a lot of juniper. In the taste, it's there. It's good there. It's not just a side note, but it's there. Can it hold up in a gin tonic? With my mixture, it can, but. Oh, I've added a little more than usual. Hopefully I didn't kill it. It smells a little bit like... with all the ice in it, it smells still a little bit like a forest. Strangely enough, that must be really, really, really light aromas. Yes, I've added a little much of that tonic water. Huge tonic influence. I can still feel a bit of that juniper note. So maybe I treated it not fully right because I've added a little too much. But yeah, still you feel the juniper and a little bit of that herbs and the spices, a little bit of that bitterness with the spices still comes through. Also with the bitter lemon. So, but you can feel that it's a different kind of bitterness. For me, the tonic always feels like a leafy kind of bitterness, like like when you have tea leaves or something like that you still in your tea and you have them in your mouth for some reason, and that kind of bitterness you have from the tonic. But this is more of a oaky, spicy bitterness going on with this elephant gin. And very, very, very faint notes of the herbs, and still enough amount of juniper. I think I'll do a better take in the German tasting, and I think it is still a good gin to be mixed with if you like it in your gin tonic. Yeah. So that was my take on the elephant gin. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.